Hi, John Marshall, the DrillMaster. Video number 4 today. Alrighty. This is a Marine Corps JROTC cap rock. I think that is in Texas, if I'm not mistaken, because that uniform right there. Oh, you can't see my, there. That uniform right there looks like Texas A&M University. Alrighty, here we go. Your staffs look wobbly. Like, see? Now, everybody, if you learn nothing from my videos, nothing from any other video, this right here, this is exactly what you do. You say fall in, and then after that, you shut up. There's no need for anything. Look, this is exactly, I'm pointing to my screen like you can see it. This is right up here, right up there. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. Exactly. You fall in, you get your spacing, and you get your alignment. But it looks like the staffs might be wobbly. Yeah, they are a little bit. All right, and gave ready cut. That's great. Perfect. So let me go back just a bit. So the middle screw joints and even I do have a flagstaff in here. Okay, hold on just a second. Okay, so I don't know if you can hear that. It rattles. And you can tighten that as much as you want, and it will eventually work its way loose. I don't know why. So I guess maybe it's the vibration of carrying it or something. I mean, slowly but surely it works its way loose. So what you want to do is unscrew the spade, put graphite on it. And if you don't have graphite powder with you, you can always sharpen a pencil and then rub the lead onto the threads. And then these little tiny screws right here, this is the upper ferrule. This is called the upper ferrule with 2 R's. These little tiny screws here, they also need to be tightened every once in a while, but they are brass screws, and then there's a brass tube in the middle, and you put graphite in there, and graphite locks it together. It just holds really nicely. It's a powder lubricant that locks all the screw joints together. It's great, but if you need to, you can easily then undo the I shouldn't say all, it's not all that easy, but you can undo, take off the spade if you need to, or here's the middle screw joint. This is a better middle screw joint because you have the little screws right here, and then going the other direction, you have the little screws right here. Now, I don't know the companies that make these, but this is the staff that you want, the light ash wood staff. This is what the U.S. military uses. Period. I don't want to hear, well, what about the Pentagon? They do their own thing. I heard that from a JROTC instructor once. Okay, you worked at the Pentagon, great. However, here's what the manuals say. So for the middle screw joint, with the nice big thick threads, you also want to put graphite in there. And that is what is going to... It's what's going to help you keep from having these wobbly staffs. You got to do that. All right, so the Marine Corps, Navy, and Coast Guard can only carry 9.5 foot staffs with the 4 foot 4 inch by 5 foot 6 inch flag. That's it. They can't carry all those 3 services. Cannot carry the 8 foot staff and the 3x4 flags. The other services can. And there's a lot more into that, but this is just for Marine Corps and Navy and Coast Guard. So let's continue on. Nicely done. Really appreciate that. So 8 steps to get around, you're almost getting there in 10. So a little bit more of a turn here. Left guard, you need to turn a little more. Everybody else need to take just a slightly bigger step. It should be 8 steps. 10 is going to be way too many. 6 is not bad. 4, absolutely not. It's just going to be way too quick. But nice technique coming through. It's really interesting. Marine Corps, Navy, and Coast Guard have to toe strike. All the members throughout this have to toe strike for this, whereas the other services don't. Marine Corps, Navy, Coast Guard, toe strike on that, on a half step forward. So it's a pseudo half step, which requires then that toe strike. So you're executing left turns. That's fine. So the command is colors halt for you. So why are you doing this? Left guard, right shoulder, arms. There's no such thing. That doesn't exist. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? That doesn't make any sense. You don't have to do that. And all of a sudden you change technique to the left hand on the staff at the socket. Why? What, you start off with Marine Corps technique and then you switch? Why are you doing that? Why not continue with Marine Corps technique, go to sling arms, you don't, you have to use the furling and unfurling sequence. You have to go to sling arms, but you still use Marine Corps technique. This switch, all of a sudden you're in Army mode. Doesn't make any sense. Timing's off here, guys, definitely. So, and that's not the way to go to sling. All right. So I know that it looks sharper, but that's not the way to go to sling. You really need to execute it per the manual. Since the Marine Corps order doesn't specifically state, and actually neither does the Army Training Circular, but there is a bit of guidance in the training circular where you stick your hand through, and timing is not supposed to be there in the real world. In JROTC competitions, though, only JROTC, not senior ROTC, the sling arms technique has to be synchronized. So you don't have both hands on the staff. Well, you're looking down. Why are you looking down? So you're unfurling. You're not coming up together. You did there. That's good. And so now you're back to Marine Corps technique? Why? This doesn't make sense. Now all of a sudden you have the left hand off. And since when does the flag come back at order? You're out at present. You come back to carry at order, at command order. Why? So you actually should pull and then reach through with that left hand instead of whipping that around. And guards, you've got to work on that timing, the technique there. And what on earth are you doing that for? That it doesn't make any sense. You can go to sling arms. You know the technique to go to present from the outboard shoulder. The left guard reaches across first, count 1, and then they're both at port for count 2. It's almost exactly the same. It's just the movement after port is slightly different. Instead of going to present, I don't get it. See? You just did it. But you're not. So that wasn't countermarch. The right guard is the one who goes farthest out. You had left guard going farther out. You still stagger I prefer countermarch to the colors reverse because of the left guard and org flag bearer. You still stagger that coming out, but the right guard, the right rifle guard, is still going farthest out. Yeah, a little bit too slow on your turns, honestly. Excellent step technique. Oh, well. So maybe it's nerves. That was a big mistake, unfortunately, because your step technique really looks good. At first, I was watching the left guard with a high toe heel strike. Oh, I'm trying to look in front of the guard. So, and another thing is, trimming the colors like this, it shouldn't be exactly the same. It's not supposed to be. However, JROTC forces it. So, guards, don't slide your hands up on the rifles. Yeah, you've got to keep you're both a little shorter. Yeah, spacing's varying. Kind of a sag and weave here and there. Although, again, step technique is really good here. Alignment's slightly off, but and there was just a tiny bit of phasing there, but mostly your phasing is just right on, and that's good. So you have the appropriate cord and tassels on the on the JROTC flag. So I don't see a cord and tassels on the national. But it could be there. And I'm just not picking it up. Yeah, that's 10 steps, so it's much too... Yeah, you've got a little bit of a high toe going on there. So, one of the problems with trying to synchronize the trim is that it's almost impossible. The silk is going to do whatever it's going to do, whether it lands on your head or your guard's head or it's over your shoulder. You have to bring the silk around. You have to get it under your arm and to the right of the staff. Have to. That's a requirement. And it's not supposed to be synchronized, like I said before. But, of course, we're going to have to do it because of... JROTC overdoes everything. All right, so as you fall out, organizational bearer, you're in front of the national. Don't do that. The colors are still uncased. You still have to follow the correct flag protocol there. So it doesn't look like you have a cord and tassels on the national. And I'm going to go back to here. So as you're unfurling, I don't know if you had the cord and tassels tucked. Did I just see it? No, I don't. Yeah, I did. Okay, all right. Yeah, you've got the cord and tassels. I just noticed it. Just a little bit of a grainy video there, so I got it. So you've got correct equipment, and you're holding... you're doing just fine with that. But however, look at the harness sockets here. The American socket, the national bearer's socket, is slightly lower. Not much, but slightly lower. So judges probably didn't pick up on that. And maybe it just depends on where I'm looking. The angle of the camera. But it just looks to be... Just be careful. That's all. Just be careful. It looks like you're cognizant of it, and maybe I didn't even need to bring it up, but just be careful with that. But the switching to the switching of the technique is not necessary. Not necessary at all. Going to the left hand hold is not necessary. You can do everything required in the sequence using Marine Corps techniques except for furling. Well, you're going to only unfurl in this sequence. This is the uncasing sequence. It doesn't have the casing at the end, so there's no need to furl. You're only going to unfurl. And so you're going to untwist the silk, but coming out with the single hand, and then you're raising it up later. I get that. So I'll give that, but the rest, having the guard switch arms, not necessary, not at all. You can do all of that easily, and seamlessly. What you're doing is you're creating big gaps, big seams, and if we were to judge this in composition analysis, which is the and we can actually here we can judge regulation drill with composition analysis, but it would be the seamless the seamless combination of each one of the moves throughout the sequence, and this isn't seamless. This isn't seamless at all because you stop, change, continue, stop, change, continue, and it's not necessary at all. So, anyway, so Caprock High School. I hope I'm giving you some good feedback here. I hope you can use it. You know, if you're going with other schools do this type of thing, step out and be different. There's no need to do certain things in this sequence that you have, unless it's actually stated in the sequence that you will do this, this, and this at this time. So march the Marine Corps order, and then just you have to go on a little bit of a deviation for the unfurling, uncasing. You know, that's not a usual Marine Corps order thing. It's in the Marine Corps order. It's in the training circular, but not to the nth degree here. So, all right, thank you.